Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today, I want to share with you guys some of my thoughts on Advanced Warfare. I'm going to share with you 3 of my worries and 3 of the things I am most excited about, so let's get started. I want to end on a positive note, so we're going to have to start with the things I'm worried about. The number one thing I'm worried about here is the sound design. The number one thing about the sound I'm worried about is the fact that they seem to be steering away from sound whoring. Now, if you watch any sort of multiplayer gameplay, you know that your own footsteps are kind of incredibly loud, and there is no dead silence, which tells me they're shying away from being able to sound whore, and I don't like this because sound whoring is a core mechanic, just like using the minimap is. People who say, well, you shouldn't use sound whoring as a crutch, I reply, do you use the minimap as a crutch? Well, should we take that out of the game? Absolutely not. I'm not asking for overpowered sound whoring. I don't want Amplify to be better than dead silence, if this makes sense. I want to be able to use the headphones that I have and be able to hear the guy running behind me with a mech suit on trying to stab me, you know. I think that's fair to ask, and if you put on dead silence, then fine, that's your choice. You put on dead silence, you said, I know you have headphones, I know you're listening to me, so I'm going to use this perk so that you cannot hear me. I don't think that is such a terrible thing to ask for, you know. It's a core mechanic and I think it should be included, and honestly it could be a make or break deal. The fact that Black Ops 2 didn't have a good sound engine for sound whoring, and the fact that they put dead silence and awareness in there is just laughable. So I hope Advanced Warfare isn't like that, and I hope they can improve that as well. The second thing I'm worried about for the sound design is the sound of the weapons. Honestly, the weapon sound is actually very not important to me, but it can really affect my mood in game. When you listen or just reminisce about Modern Warfare 3's AK-47 or the ACR or the SCAR, you know, think about in Ghosts the Remington R5, the MTAR, the Vector, the Bison, the Amelie, the Chainsaw, the LSAT. Each of these guns has a different sound. The MTS sounds different than a TAC-12. The TAC-12 sounds very different than a Bulldog. They each have their own sort of personality in a way. They're very deep, they're very strong, they're powerful, they're, you know, they feel like an awesome gun. When you're shooting someone with an AK-47, it feels like you are shooting a very, very strong, powerful gun. Here is a fantastic example right here. This is me in a Juggernaut Maniac. We all know the Maniac isn't, or not the Maniac, the Assault Juggernaut. We all know the Assault Juggernaut isn't the strongest kill streak in the game. It's pretty subpar for how expensive it is, but it feels awesome. I'm going to let you listen to it to refresh your memory right here.
How did you get behind me? Like, so frustrating, man.
So yeah, you get this kind of wimpy kill streak, but as soon as you're in it, you're in this awesome beast. You're going, and it sounds a very powerful machine gun. And Advanced Warfare has a similar kill streak to the Assault Juggernaut. They have this mech suit that you get in, a Titan kind of thing. I don't know, it's a Titan kind of thing. You get in it, and it's really awesome. You're in this big old suit, and it's very strong and powerful, and it sounds like this. Honestly, the first time I recognized it was that mech suit making that pew 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 noise, I laughed out loud. I couldn't handle how stupid, how unpowerful, and how just completely weak that sounded. I understand it's an alpha build, but take this at my request. I want these guns to sound powerful, unique, and different. Each gun has its own personality. I want it to be strong. I want each kill, each shot to feel like it's a very powerful. Realistic gunshots, I don't care about. I don't care about realistic gunshots because in real life, they're all just kind of a big loud bang, and it's not unique, it's not powerful, it's not fun, but that's what I want from the sound engine. That's what I'm most worried about. The next thing I'm most worried about is the map design. Now, I know this is a completely different development team, but it feels like and it looks like they are making Black Ops 3, if that makes sense. They're returning to the Black Ops 2 and they're moving on from there. And in terms of map design, the 3-lane maps, I'm not a huge fan of. As someone who plays solo, I love maps that reward strategic movement, very fluid movement, and nearly all the Ghost maps do that, at least all of the DLC maps. I'm not so much a big fan of the original maps. They are kind of big and boring, and I understand that, but the DLC maps like Departed, that is a perfect example of a non-linear map that is just beautiful. You can predict spawns, predict where they're going, and put yourself in a position of advantage that you just can't do in a 3-lane map. In a 3-lane map, you take slums, for example. You spawn on C, they spawn on A, you guys go fight it out on a head glitch. Whoever has the best connection wins, and I don't see how that's fun. I don't see how that's rewarding. Yeah, the pace is faster. You're getting a lot more engagements that way, but you don't control the engagements. You don't control the pacing. It's just you're thrown into this 50-50 gunfight, and with the horrible hit detection and lag compensation that was in Black Ops 2, it's left me with a bad taste in my mouth for a 3-lane map. But when we get to the positive side, I have a really optimistic way of looking at this, but this is something that I'm putting on the list of one of my concerns. Hopefully they do it right. It looks like, I'm looking at the map now, it looks like you can go a little bit more, you have a little bit more freedom than you do in a map like Slum, so I'm still optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic. The last thing I'm worried about in Advanced Warfare is the Pick 13 system. For me, this feels like a step backwards. What Infinity Ward did was very, very good in Ghost. They took each perk and individually valued it relative to the other perks. They said, alright, Quick Draw is very, very useful. Stalker is very, very useful, and we're going to value that 3 times as more as something as like Gambler or Resilience, which is useful, but it's not as valuable as, say, Stalker or Quick Draw. And they made attachments free, which is amazing. I really honestly couldn't care if you have a silencer, grip, red dot sight, extended mags. I mean, it's still the same gun. You still have to use gun skill, and as far as at least the attachments used in Ghost, you can have as many as you want, and I really couldn't care less. I don't value those at all. Whereas if we have the Pick 13 system, especially now with the kill streaks involved in all of this, you can have this very advanced, super pumped up laser Loki, and you can have that valued the same amount as extended mags, which in my eyes is lazy, it's stupid, and it doesn't make sense. You have this beast kill streak, and you're saying that is worth the same amount as 15 extra bullets in your clip. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not excited for it, and I don't like it. That's why I think it's a step backwards. Yes, it's more innovative than the traditional 3-perk system, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. The perks in this game also worry me very much. The perks in Ghosts were very, very cool, unique, different. Infinity Ward does a great job at throwing out all these really quirky and fun ideas. ICU, ping, wiretap. I've said it before, Gambler is just a simple, genius 1-point perk that it's just throw it on there and you'll get something fun, another fun perk. Whereas in this game, it's like Incognito, Blind Eye, Off the Grid, and just the standard boring perks. There's a perk in there that I found this funny. There's a perk in there that lets you use the Ghost minimap, the widescreen version, the good version. It's like, hey, here's a better improvement that the previous game did, but it's going to be a perk in this game because for whatever reason we don't want to just put it in there standard. It doesn't make sense to me why they would just be so, I don't want to say lazy, but limited, conservative with these perks. They look lackluster, they don't look fun. I'm not excited to use any one of them. I feel like the exo abilities are more perky, fun and different than the actual perks are. So I'm interested to see. It's just different. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually, but as of right now, I'm not excited for that. Alright, negativity out the window. What am I most looking forward to in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? I am most looking forward to, believe it or not, the actual double jumping and exosuit abilities this gives you. I think this will cure the 3-lane map fear that I have. Hopefully it does. We'll see when we get to it. This could be make or break. This could be something that allows smart players to advance through the map very strategically. Like I said before, previously it was very two-dimensional, I want to say. People have said this before, but with Pharaoh, it's a 3-lane map, but yes, you can weave in and out of these lanes. You can take these weird kind of quirky routes that people don't expect you to come by, which makes that 3-lane map very, very fun and very, very good to play, at least for me. And I think the exosuit abilities are going to give that kind of feel to these 3-lane maps, because being able to think in that third dimension above and below, you may be able to predict which side I'm coming from, but what level I'm coming from is up to me, and I'm very excited to do that. Although that always comes down to the particular map and how the map design is laid out vertically as well. So I'm most excited for that, as well as the gunfight balance that it's going to have. I imagine if you're above someone shooting at you from below, in Call of Duty, we are very good at shooting someone who is strafing, at shooting someone who is kind of at our own level, but we're very weird when it comes to, at least I'm very weird when it comes to shooting someone above me. And I feel like even if he doesn't have cover, even if he's up in the air and then he does this dash kind of like diagonally up into my right, my muscle memory isn't used to that. I'm not used to shooting someone going straight up into my right. I'm used to shooting someone who's jump shotting or strafing to the left or strafing to the right, not someone who's boosting above my head. I think that is going to be a different fun skill that gives another depth, another skill gap to the gunfights. Of course, it all comes down to how it's implemented, how the maps are, and how the players use these abilities to their advantage, and that's something I'm really excited to get my hands on and to get going. The next thing I'm looking forward to is the guns in this game. Now, I know I said they sound weak and pathetic, and they do. Hopefully they'll change that by the time it gets released. But I think the guns and the gunplay are going to appeal to both sides of the spectrum. At least the optimistic side of me wants to believe that. They look easy to use with low recoil, which I like. I'm not the biggest fan of high recoil, hard to use guns that are in the Black Ops series. I know I should get some skill right, but I think the low recoil, high damage guns are going to appeal to the Infinity Ward people, and I think the exoskeleton abilities, the ability to have your own little gun battle in air, is going to appeal to the people who want to focus on good aim and good strafing and those type of people. And I think the gunplay in this game is going to reward both sides pretty evenly. Again, optimistic right here, but also I'm very excited for the energy weapons. I know it's kind of weird for Call of Duty, but from what I've seen, the energy weapons fit right in. Of course, they're just regular weapons with energy beams coming out of them. Technically it's not anything different, but the one without any reload, the one that's just you don't want to overheat, I think that looks like a really terrible gun. I think that you're gonna trade a lot off. I think they made that very weak for balance reasons, but it still looks fun. It's something new and it's something different, and I think it's a refreshing thing in Call of Duty. And of course, from what all I've seen, it still looks like the same old Call of Duty gameplay that we all know and love, so that's a good thing there. And the last thing I'll throw in here that I'm excited for are the customizable kill streaks. I have wanted these ever since Modern Warfare 3. I haven't campaigned for them or anything, but I think it would be a good idea that once you get 50 kills with an AC-130, you earn an extra flare, or if you get 50 kills with a Loki, you earn rapid fire on your large rods or something like that. I always thought the depth of the perk system and the attach system should be adapted to the kill streaks. It looks like they're doing that a little bit in Advanced Warfare. However, I will say they are kind of being a little bit lazy in my eyes with putting the UAV, the counter UAV, and the orbital VSAT all in one category. But the ability to make it faster, last longer is something that I was thinking of, and I think it's a great thing to do. It's a great addition to Call of Duty, and I think Infinity Ward and Treyarch are going to capitalize on that and make that even better than what they have now. Call of Duty does a great job at building up on itself, and I'm excited for these kill streaks. I'm excited for what they have to offer, even though it doesn't look like there's that many, but I think they might be more at release. It's just my speculation, and that's what I think about that. And so those are my thoughts on Advanced Warfare so far. I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. I mean, there is going to be danger close IEDs in this game. The overpowered Oracle is now a throwable piece of equipment. And so there is going to be a lot of stuff that I think is unbalanced in this game. The mech suits, I think you can upgrade them to have Dead Man's Hand on them, which is going to be super annoying, I imagine. And if you were to honestly ask me day one of this reveal, I would have said, worst Call of Duty ever. I don't think I'm even going to get it, but I need to try to open my own mind here. I'm trying to think about the good things. I'm trying to get myself excited. We are all going to have to change the way we think about this game. In my mind, you guys have subscribed to me for a tactical, smart way to play Call of Duty, and I think that is going to be entirely different than Ghosts is. I think the way to play smart in Advanced Warfare is going to be very different than it is in Call of Duty Ghosts, or at least the way it's implemented. So we are all going to have to help each other out here. I'm going to have to open up my mind and try to enjoy this game as much as everyone else seems to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think of Advanced Warfare so far? Again, we've only seen an alpha build, so again, reserve my right to change my mind. But until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, have a great day.